Hey guys, good morning. Jeff and Sean and Brian and Tony and Mark and Tyler and everybody. You guys know who you are. Rickster and Josh. Okay, guys, I was at, good morning. It's a beautiful day here at Puerto Morealis, right below Cancun, of course. Another beautiful day. I'm going to get into some recovery right away. I don't want to make it too long, but I was at a step 5 meeting yesterday, okay? You know, I admitted to God, to ourselves and another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs, right? And I think when I was thinking about the meeting, you know, I was thinking about how we get how so many people get disconnected, you know, from AA. It seems like we get disconnected from AA, we get disconnected from God, and we get disconnected from ourselves, and we drink again, you know. And I'm just going to highlight a few things in the book where they talk about how important fellowship is, how important it is for one alcoholic to talk to another alcoholic, you know. And it all started, like they say AA started when Dr. Bob met Bill W., but really, it really started 6 months before that, I think, you know, when Ebby Thatcher, who was working with Roland Hazard and these guys in the Oxford group, he carried a message to Bill W. in his kitchen. Okay, and he was carrying a very similar message that we have today, but it was 6 steps instead of 12. And the reason this is not the start of AA is because Ebby didn't stay sober. Okay, Ebby didn't keep doing what he was doing to stay sober in the beginning, and he drank again. So the beginning of AA is really June 10th, 1935, when Bill met Bob. But really, the message was carried to Bill in his kitchen in 1934, November, you know. And here's what Ebby said. We're talking about the fellowship a little bit. Here's what Ebby said, you know, concerning, you know, the fellowship and one alcoholic helping another. He said, you know, faith without works was dead, he said. And how appallingly true for the alcoholic. For if an alcoholic failed to perfect and enlarge his spiritual life through work and self-sacrifice for others, you know, I'm not going to work with other alcoholics. Who am I going to work with, right? So I perfect and enlarge my spiritual life by self-sacrifice and working with other alcoholics. He could not survive the certain trials and low spots ahead if he didn't do this. If he did not work, he would surely drink again, and if he drank, he would surely die. Then faith would be dead indeed. With us, it is just like that. So Ebby was telling, you know, Bill how important it was. Probably it said it was imperative. You know, he emphasized the absolute necessity of alcoholics working with other alcoholics, you know. And then if you go to page, say, 17, they talk about how, you know, we're passengers on a shipwreck, right? We're all going down, and how we need each other. But the fact that we've shared in a common peril is one element in the powerful cement which binds us, but that in itself would never have held us together as we are now joined. So the tremendous fact for every one of us is that we have discovered a common solution, right? The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. Bill put that together, right? We have a way out on which we can absolutely agree and upon which we can join in brotherly and harmonious action. Okay? This is the great news of this book. So we need each other, you know. And you go to page 19, you know, and page 20, top of page 20, it says, our very lives as ex-problem drinkers depend upon our constant thoughts of others and how we may help meet their needs, you know. There it is again, right? And on page 18, this is important, it says, highly competent psychiatrists who have dealt with us have found it sometimes impossible to persuade an alcoholic to discuss his situation without reserve. Strangely enough, wives, parents, and intimate friends usually find us even more unapproachable to this the psychiatrist and the doctor. But the ex-problem drinker, right, that's us, right, who has found the solution, right, that's us, who is properly armed with facts about himself, okay, solution and problem, can generally win the entire confidence of another alcoholic in a few hours. Until such an understanding is reached, little or nothing can be accomplished. Like, we can't stay sober alone. That's what they're trying to tell us here. We will not stay so. I can go to page after page after page how important it is that alcoholics need to talk to other alcoholics, and alcoholics need to help other alcoholics. And the guy with time needs the new guy just as much as the new guy needs the guy with time, you know. And the whole thing ends, this whole book kind of ends, forget what page it's on. It's on 561, like at the end of the book under the AA tradition. The AA tradition. Here's what it says. It says, to those now in its fold, Alcoholics Anonymous has made the difference between misery and sobriety, and not the difference between life and death. AA can, of course, mean just as much to uncounted alcoholics not yet reached. Therefore, no society of men and women ever had a more urgent need for continuous effectiveness and permanent unity. Check this out. We alcoholics see that we must work together. Okay, we got to work the steps together. We got to work the program together and hang together, right? We got to stick together. Else, most of us will finally die alone. Like, how powerful is that? And all we got to do is believe it. We just have to believe. And I've seen it over the years of sobriety. I've seen guys get disconnected and go out, and a lot of them died, you know. And why did they get disconnected? You know, they're not believing this stuff. Like on page, 84, I keep mentioning, this is not an overnight matter. It's got to continue for life. We got to constantly be hanging with each other and working with each other and seeing what we can do for each other and seeing where we can be of service and seeing what we can do for the new guy. Grab him, man. Grab that new guy. Take him to the coffee shop. See if he's got a book yet. Open that up to the doctor's opinion. See if he understands this disease. So important. And when we don't do that, and we don't hang together and work together, it says we'll surely die alone. I don't want to die. So again, it's a blessing to do this. It feels good. I love feeling useful, I'm not looking for happiness all the time. I'm not happy all the time. But I've been happy and I've been useful, and I'll take useful any day. It feels good to be useful, even when I'm sometimes in a depression or anxiety or whatever. Like, I can always be useful. I can't always be happy, but I can always be useful. And that's what they're talking about, man. To live a content and useful life. That's all I want, And I can't do that without the fellowship. I can't do that with the other alcoholics. So important, man. The fellowship, the unity part of the triangle is so important. And if we get disconnected from it, man, we are headed for trouble. So I hope you guys got something out of that. Most of you guys already know this, but pass this on to a new guy. Forward this video to a new guy that doesn't understand how important the fellowship is. A lot of guys think they can take the book home and work the steps by themselves, but we can't. We need each other. We need to work together and hang together. It's imperative. Anyway, love you guys. I'm going to upload this now. Another long video, but hope everybody has a great day. I'm going to try to make a beach video today. I tried yesterday, but it didn't work. But I'm going to try again. Love you guys.